Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you, I guess, my starting point for Oscilio, kind of talk about some options that I've had and kind of give you, I guess, my initial pseudo deck tech. It's not really a deck tech, it's just showing you where I'm at in this point in time, kind of give you some good options and hopefully give you a good starting point as you open your packs for pre-release and your boxes and start to build the hero. Just kind of talk about some macro game plans. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Discord down below, check out the channel membership, all that good stuff, and we'll get right into it. So again, this is not an end-all be-all deck tech, right? It is kind of weird to do a deck tech before the set's even out, so I don't want it to be perceived as that. I just want to show you kind of where I'm at now, and hopefully if you're just like totally lost on where to build the hero, it kind of gives you a decent starting point, right? So hopefully this helps. When it comes to the list, there was two kind of iterations of lists I was going with. The first one's like a pure Cheerios list, or Cheerios with like one set of one cost, and then you have like a more mid-rangey arcane based build actually that played for like a good Gone, a flash turn. I think both are pretty viable. I think the Cheerios has higher ceiling. The other one might just be a little bit more consistent. So it all depends on like how you approach it. Regardless, this is pretty much a pseudo Cheerios list. The only card in my deck that costs something is Eclectic Magnetism, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, we're just trying to really value our opponent out and come in, you know, with a lot of lightning attacks. It's a lightning first hero, to be honest. A lot of lightning attacks, and then hopefully on most turns end on a good spell that's coming in for like 6 or 7 plus. That's the goal of the deck, right, for the most part. And then you play for a really big combo turn in the mid to late game with Gone to Flash or Blast to Oblivion or something like that. So that being said, looking at the equipment, the headpiece, Balance of Justice has been kind of like I've been cycling between a lot of headpieces. Balance of Justice, I tried Crown of Providence, I tried the new Lightning headpiece. What else did I try? There was one Arcanite Skull Cap I had in there for a little bit. Balance, honestly, for two reasons. One, Taylor showed off yesterday what Balance can do, which I didn't even think about. I wasn't playing Balance for the reason Taylor is, which is really cool. Taylor was playing it for the tech with Mind Warp, being able to like throw Mind Warp at the end of your turn for like 6 or 7, and if they don't block out the surge effect after you've blocked a Balance of Justice, you basically can because they've discarded their hand and drawn up a new hand, you can activate Balance of Justice, still get Arsenal. I thought that was really cool, and I never had thought about that interaction as I was playing Balance of Justice. But that interaction on offense, as well as having a decent interaction on defense with like Brutes and a lot of heroes that still want to draw cards, I think it's definitely probably your most consistent headpiece right now. For the arms, Mark of Lightning I've been on for like 2 days or so, 1 or 2 days. The new Wizard arms just at most we're getting you like block 1, amp 2 on a good day, and that's still not bad. And this list specifically doesn't have Channel Lightning Valley, so there is some merit to maybe bringing back the new Wizard arms. But right now, Mark of Lightning is just really nice to like potentially guarantee. It just tells your opponent you can't go to 1. It can guarantee some certain effects. It's definitely better with Channel Lightning Valley, and I ended up taking Channel Lightning Valley out of my list, I think, like 2 days ago. I told y'all I didn't like the card in my list. So regardless, this could be the new Wizard arms. I was just playing around with this. It all depends on like what you want to do. The chess piece, Tunic is in pretty much every matchup except for like really fast matchups like Dash.io, Zen, probably Aurora, I would say. I'll run Blossom of Spring so I can get that Greaves turn off the second I need it. But other than that, I run Tunic because I still run Eclectic Magnetism, which we'll talk about in a second. And I want to be able to have some versatility on getting both of those off. And then finally for the legs, the most important equipment piece of the deck. If you want to play this hero, in my opinion, you need to get the piece. This is a non-negotiable. There is no substitution. You're going to need to get Lightning Greaves. And I think they're going to not be like stupid expensive, but they're going to be one of the more sought after legendaries in my opinion. Instant pay 1, destroy this. Instant cards you play this turn get go again. So it has Arcane Barrier 1 as well and Battle 1/1. So super versatile piece of equipment. The most common use for this, obviously a lot of people are already aware of, is the Gone to Flash combo turn. But it does have some cool interactions even when you don't have Gone to Flash, but you're on like a 4 or 5 card hand. I found some interaction like playing a Snatch Like maybe you play a Fry, right, with Go Again, then you play Snatch. You have like 2 cards left in hand, and maybe they just like, oh, you don't have Go Again. You can activate Tunic, pay 1 resource, activate Greaves, play Lightning Press. Since it's an instant, you will gain a action point essentially because it gets Go Again. And then your Snatch will hit after they try to block it potentially, and then draw a card, and you can maybe get a little bit more value out of that. It's not the end of the world. It's not the ideal time you want to use it, but there are some cool and cute interactions that you can do, as well as with Blast to Oblivion, in order to make Lightning Greaves just crazy. I've had 4-card hands that dealt 30 damage, plus I've had 5-card hands that have dealt near 40, but that's if they don't interrupt. That's with like the perfect hand, right? But it is possible. So that's where my equipment is. In the sideboard, we have Blossom of Spring, and then we have AB3 with Metacarpus Nose and Storm Striders I'm only running the AB3, like full 3 into Verdance because it goes a little bit long. I might end up going down to AB1, and then I run AB1 to like, I put this in my arm piece in pretty much every arcane-based hero because I want to be able to pop Greaves and then not have to worry about dying to arcane. So I definitely have that as well. So that's where my equipment is. When it comes to the list, it's pretty bread and butter Cheerios. Certain cards that are like must-have 3-ofs, I think, in every list, no matter what, in my opinion. Blast to Oblivion, Gone in a Flash, Flittering Charge, Etchings of Arcana is going to be an automatic 3-of. The Sigils, we'll talk about that in a second. Mind Warp should be a 3-of in your list, in my opinion. Blink should be a 3-of in your list, in my opinion. A lot of those are like kind of where it's at. When it comes to what's different in my list, maybe, I saw it in Taylor's list too. It's really good. Is Sizzle. Sizzle actually has a lot of cool not a lot, but a couple cool interactions. Whereas one card that was like 50-50 for me in terms of consistency is Current Funnel. Because this doesn't get Go Again off Sigils, you have to play a Lightning action card before it in order to give it Go Again and then give the next attack Go Again. Sizzle actually procs that, whereas Electrostatic Discharge does not because it's an instant. But if you play Sizzle, then you can play Current Funnel for 5 Go Again, and then you also play your next attack for Go Again, which helps a little bit. So it definitely has some good synergy there. I've been playing that. I'm on 2 of Snatch. It's just really good when you're gaining action points, being able to play Lightning Press on top of it, being able to play Electromagnetic Somersault, especially when you play some aggro heroes and they don't respect the Snatch for whatever reason, because sometimes they don't. Being able to play Electromagnetic Somersault to get it back, gain an action point, then playing Snatch again. I've had a couple turns where I've had like, Electrostatic Discharge and like 2 somersaults and a Snatch, and I'm able to play Electrostatic Discharge, gain action points. I'm at 2, play Snatch for 7, bring it back, play it, bring it back, play it. Like, you can just do some really dumb stuff really fast with Greaves, and it gets really fun. But I don't want 3 of because I don't want to see 2 of them in the same hand, so I do have 2 of them. Etchings of Arcana is really good. And Light and Strike, I've been really enjoying the list. It's really nice on Greaves turns. It's really nice when you get this embodiment of lightning tokens from Sigil of Lightning and even Sigil of Conductivity. Being able to do this and draw a card is really nice with the Go Again. And it also works with Blink as well. So that has some good synergy. Destructive Ether Tide, just a really good disruption piece when we can get it to proc off. Everything else is pretty bread and butter. What you're trying to do in this list is play good 0-for-4s, get action points through gaining them with Blink, with Lightning Greaves, with Sigil of Lightning, with Sigil of Conductivity, bouncing Sigil of Conductivity even in matchups with heroes that don't run Arcane, bouncing it with Blast to Oblivion to make lightning tokens. Like, you're literally just doing this. And then on an ideal turn, you're ending, that's not a combo turn, you're playing like 3 or 4 lightning cards and then coming in with Etchings for 7 or Mind Warp for 6, right? You've played like 4 lightning cards, something like that, or Destructive Ether Tide for 5. That's ideally what you're trying to do. I do want to try to find a way to amp a little bit more. We'll have to see how that's going to work out. It's a little bit hard to do that sometimes. I think you just got to be okay with it. But on a 4-card hand, if you think about it, if you have let's say you have like a Sigil in play, like that hasn't popped, and you play something like Fry into Flittering Charge, and you Lightning Press it, right? So you've done 3, 7, 10, and then let's say your arsenal is Mind Warp. So you've done 10 and then you play another go again, right? Like, you know, another flittering charge or something like that. Whatever the case may be, you're doing like 3, 4, maybe played Entwined Lightning at the start, so you've done 11. You lightning pressed it to make it 14. You have a sigil in play from last turn that hasn't popped. You activate Volzar, and you've played 4 lightning cards this turn, right? And then you can play like Mind Warp for 6. So all of a sudden you're doing a 5-card 20, ending on an on hit. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, in an ideal turn 5-card hand that's not a combo turn with Greaves, you can do like, you know, 13 to 20 damage. And funny enough, Oscilio does have a lot of play lines that allow you to be over rate. Like, you're doing 3-card 10s, which is 1 point over rate, but you're ending on an on hit. You do like 4-card 15s and stuff like that. So it's not obscene, but it does some really cool stuff. I think the hero is kind of in the middle. Obviously, like I said in the previous video, I think this hero was made in a world where Toma Fiendal and Toma Aetherwind were legal or expected to be legal. So it's really hurt him in that aspect, but regardless, still really good. The last interaction that I really enjoy, and we'll see if it stays in the list, but I've been really liking it, is Eclectic Magnetism. Being able to have this card and a spell, especially when you can keep a sigil on board, is really, really nice. Playing like a sigil, activating Tunic, playing Eclectic, activate Volzar now that you've played 2 lightning cards to get amp 2, and then playing like an Etchings for 5. You just did a 3-card 10, so you're still over rate, and you got a sigil that's going to give you some type of effect eventually. So Eclectic allows you, because it's a 1 for 5, especially off Tunic, it allows you to get over rate on small hands, and it blocks 3. So I've been really enjoying the card. I wouldn't run a 3 of, but I do think it helps your spells a little bit more. You don't always have to, you know, have the action point economy in order to play those spells at the end of your turn, and I've just been really enjoying it for that. When it comes to the sideboard, pretty stock right now. This will be fluent. Warmonger's Diplomacy, it's good into Rune Blades. It's good into Brute because it prevents him from playing Blood Rush. It's good into Azalea, right? It's got a lot of applicability right now. Snag because new and Assassin is very annoying, and we don't want them to keep doing that. And it's just a hard matchup for us in general, one that we got to try to figure out a little bit. I've played a couple news, and it's actually been relatively close because you can just kind of race them down if they can't draw the disruption right, but it's still a little weird. We do have Scour, really good card, obviously, for anyone who's trying to make auras, and then Sink Below. Sink Below just having a good defensive piece. So this is kind of where I'm at in the list. Again, this is not like a pseudo deck tech like you should play this day one. I definitely think this is a good starting point. Play around with the ratios a little bit. Another card that I haven't seen in every list that I think should be in the list is Lightning Surge. I don't know why you wouldn't play this card. We want to end on an arsenal, and we want to have 5-card hands, and Lightning Surge is literally the perfect thing for that. And then on turns with Blink or Lightning Greaves, it's a 0 for 4 that can get go again or gain action points through other means, right? So definitely try that out. But yeah, let me know what you think of the list. I'd love to hear it. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Would love to hear your thoughts. I loved watching Taylor and them play the list last night. Even though Taylor got a little bit unlucky with some of the disruption, it was really fun to watch the different heroes be played. So shout out to the car guys for putting on that, and Blue Pitch for putting on that piece of content. It was really cool watching them. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on the list. Let me know what cards you're running that I'm not, and your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. That's the whole fun part of this, is to hopefully give people who are just completely lost a starting point, but also develop some discussion with people who are making their own list, and have some fun with it. But yeah, thank you all so much. If you all like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not me, it's completely fine. Go to my homepage on YouTube. Go to I think it's my showcase video, where it has like a list of all the creators that cover this game. And check them out, like their stuff, comment on their stuff, subscribe to them, and yeah, we'll get more people seeing this game. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time.